Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. So, my voice is coming back, but it tends to come and go at random somewhat. So, I am depending on other people to kind of fill the time here, and I shouldn't be talking too much.
Not a problem.
That's okay. We really don't like it talking anyway. So.
But tonight is the beginning of our 9th season. Gad, have I really been doing this that long?
I guess so.
Somebody is echoing. Who is echoing? Am I echoing?
I don't hear an echo.
Testing. Do you hear an echo from me?
Test 1 1 2 2 2 3 3 3 4 4.
Yeah, I think I'm the one.
Okay, yeah, I was just checking to see if I had it opened in another tab. If I had the YouTube
I had it
open in another
open.
tab.
Hey, Ox, honey, how you doing?
Yeah, so in the side chat, we've already got a bunch of people there. Andrew, Commander 401, Ox.
Yeah, but is there anybody we want to talk to?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. There's all sorts of
good people. They're all good people.
Junie.
Now, Andrew, a season is definitely not a year, because you and I have been at this sort of thing, Purple, about the same length of time, right? And I've been at it for, what, 4 years now?
Well, you started a bit before me, but actually I've been 4.5 years now. Actually, I've been on YouTube about 5 years, but it's been 4.5 years since I started this channel.
Okay, then. Yeah.
Well, I go by the American TV seasons are usually half a year.
Yeah, they started doing that when they wanted to feel more important.
Yeah, so generally there's a spring. Well, generally per US TV, there was a spring and a fall season. And it used to always be that there were 13 episodes per season. So in the spring, they would run 13 episodes, and then through the summer, they would rerun the same 13. And then in the fall, you get a new 13.
I always remembered it being a whole year with usually like a bunch of series.
Hey,
yeah, well, you weren't around and watching TV in the 70s either, were you?
No, I was born in 79, so I kind of missed the 70s.
Yeah. No, I'm going back more to the programming the way they did it through the 70s, because that's when I was growing up and saw the patterns.
Back when they had summer replacements.
Yeah, I remember they had like something like 24 episodes is for a season, and for live TV shows, and for cartoons were like 64 episodes, 65 episodes, something like that.
Yeah, well, once Disney started making more direct-to-TV cartoons and Cartoon Network got involved, seasons for animated shows got ridiculous. Well, they did get to a thing that they decided that a show had to have something like 64 episodes before they could sell it for syndication.
Well, there's stuff like that for TV, although I think it's broken down now. You know, they're doing franchising on TV series that have only been around like 3 years, 2-3 years.
Now, I remember Star Trek making I believe it was a 73rd episode, simply to get the whole thing into syndication.
Yep, so now we've got Aunt Jur and Mark Short.
Oh, yay.
And Carol joining us. Oh, and Skits. Hey, Skits.
Yay.
Skitsy baby, I gotta talk to you.
Oh.
What do you do? Or should we say?
No, it's private. That's private.
Okay.
I don't know, but Skits is my sugar daddy. Keep sending me gifts.
See if I can get my glasses on with these headphones on. Because I have my election ballot on hand right here. I'm going to go over it.
Ah, and you've got all the Florida state offices on there then, huh?
Yep. I usually just start from the top and work my way down. Though I might just start with something on the back. I believe it was on the back.
They put stuff on the back. I
Yeah, it's
wonder how many
two-sided.
people voting don't even see that.
Yeah, it's got a front and a back to it.
I just wonder if on the back they're putting the stuff that they don't really want people to see.
It's on the back anyway. Amendments mostly. Oh, here we are. This is where I want to start at. Governor. Let's see, we got Ryan. Yeah, we got Ron DeSantis, Charlie Crist, Hector Ross, and Carmen Jackie. Okay. Not affiliated, LPF, Dem, and Republican.
Can I pick?
What did you pick?
Charlie Crist.
Well, I actually happen to be the one I was going to go with.
He's the bluest of them, and he's a former Republican. Oh God, that state is fucked up.
Yeah. Well, he did apologize in 2014 for his positions on gay marriage.
Well, that's good. He's better than the guy we got running for Congress up here.
So
he's one of those LGBT people should be killed.
Yeah, so that does.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that does earn him a brownie point in my book. And also, he is in favor of legalizing marijuana.
Oh, that's always a good thing. Yeah, isn't that incredible that the Republicans would actually think about or have in their plan to de-arm Ukraine if they get the House and stuff, that they would abandon Ukraine and fucking Putin take over.
Yeah, because all the MAGA crowd. Yeah, the MAGA crowd's been backing Putin. And then they complain that the Democrats are communist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost have to go bifocal here.
Really, people? Do you understand what you're doing at all?
No, they don't. They really, really don't.
Well, the peons don't anyway.
No, they're the people who stand up and scream, "Get the government out of my Medicare!" You know, it's
Jesus.
And they spell moron M-O-R-A-N. You know,
this is other guy. Looking at the United States Senator, got Marco Rubio, Val Demings, Dennis Nisagi, Stephen B. Grant, and a name I can't even pronounce.
Who's the Democrat? Val Demings?
Yeah.
Okay, Val Demings.
That's probably the one I'm going to go with, actually. But I want to look at this, a couple of these other ones.
Oh, elect the unpronounceable one just to watch what the TV newscasters do with it.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
You're going to try and make me say this, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I also have a choice to write in something, apparently.
Oh, that's always good. That's important. Write in Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay, when you get down to judges, write your own name in. In 2016, a guy in Pennsylvania got himself elected as a judge because he wrote his own name, and it turned out there were more seats open than there were candidates listed on the ballot.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's quite common here.
Actually, it looks like that's the only option for a write-in is that one. The senator here.
I always used to write in. You know, it's very common for judgeships to not have challengers. You know, and you know they just get rubber stamped in.
Nobody cares about judges. You think they would have learned by now.
Any open thing, I would always write in a guy named Frank Zeidler, who was mayor of Milwaukee at one point and is a committed socialist. has been all his life. And so I always wrote in him to be something. He's dead now, so I can't do that anymore. But
why not? You do it in Chicago.
Yeah.
no, they vote if they're dead. They don't vote for them if they're dead.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Demings received a 100% voting score for pro-choice America in 2017, 2018, and 2019.
Actually, in the 2020 election in Nevada, they elected a dead pimp.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
The guy legitimately owned a couple of brothels, but he died like 2 months before the election. But the ballots had already been printed, so his name appeared on the ballots, and he got elected even though he was dead before election day.
She has an F rating from the anti-abortion Susan B. Anthony list.
Yeah, we're not voting for that one.
Except that Susan B. Anthony was pro autonomy and stuff like that, you know.
No, actually, that would be. Climate and environment. Demings receives a 97% lifetime rating from the League of Conservation Voters. Okay, let's see. The next one down is a libertarian.
Don't vote for any damn libertarian. Libertarians,
I used to do
without
that
all the rules.
thing.
Yeah.
That's basically just a Republican.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, libertarians have this strange idea that if they disband the government, people will provide the infrastructure out of the goodness of their own hearts.
Yeah, I've run into that plenty of times.
Yeah, Bourget.
This is unaffiliated guy.
Yeah, and you don't need police and all those kinds of things either, huh?
Oh, and this is the reason why I like to have my mail-in. This is why I like having my mail-in ballots. I can actually research the people in real time while I'm doing the ballot.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that as an advantage, but yeah, it's a nice idea that you can look up the candidates while you're filling it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I keep hearing these reports from different sources, but all on through Twitter, that that the amount of pre-election voting that's going on is just absolutely breaking records already.
Excellent. That's a very good sign.
Well, traditionally, Republicans are the early voters and in mail-in and stuff like that, and Democrats are the later votes with absentees. And so it's I wouldn't take it as all that good news yet.
I think COVID changed a lot of that. Basically, just making people aware that they could vote even if it wasn't election day.
It was a big flip with the last presidential election with that.
Yeah, I should have just ordered a mail-in ballot, but I didn't. It's not a big deal. The polling places, I can walk to it from here.
I can throw a rock and hit the polling place from here.
We have one polling place in our town.
I think North Versailles actually has two.
Well, we've only got about 500 eligible voters around here. That's a guesstimate on my part.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a big enough city that there's a couple of them.
Yeah, population is 1,000 to round it off, and half the population is male, and we don't let them vote. So. And that's another really shocking thing about what's going on right now is that there's there's all these Republicans, men and women, who are saying that women should not have the right to vote.
Yeah, I get a lot of that.
I've been hearing that.
That's just shocking. It's just absolutely shocking.
Well, it just amazes the tits off of me that any woman could actually consider, let alone be, Republican.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are going to be a bunch of old biddies that have hit menopause and don't care about abortion because they know they're never going to get pregnant.
Oh, Christ. I've heard that one, and it just burns me. My cousin.
That's the Republican attitude in general. So they don't mind, that everyone's being suppressed because they're always certain they'll never be in a minority.
Yep. Yep, they only care when it affects them.
Val Deming's is definitely the best choice out of that list.
Because, like, if you're not born disabled, you can never get into that group, right?
Yeah, nobody ever gets disabled during lifetime.
Yeah, of course not.
We in the people business, in the caring arts, as it were called sometimes, we used to have the saying that everybody is only temporarily able-bodied.
Got that right.
Well, that's why we got Social Security in the first place. Because one thing they could convince everybody of was that eventually you will get old and you're going to need this.
And the Republicans have been dead set against it since what, 1935?
Yep, the day it came in. They've had a bug up their ass all this time. They really ought to grow up.
This is likely how.
I don't know. I just dream sometimes.
Boy.
Okay, Commander says at this point he thinks the Democrats have 3 million more votes than Republicans. Commander, where are you getting the numbers from for that?
It's based on the number of people he paid off.
Well, I assume it's the equivalent of an exit survey.
Oh, and just before I started this, I found there's in Henderson County a Dick Bigger Jr. running.
Okay, then. Bigger, Dick.
Which was probably part of his whole campaign platform,
Of course.
Hello, Granny.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Granny, hi. Oh, you made it.
Hey, hi, honey.
Hi, Diana, how are you?
In a word.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Jared, the invitation to you is still open too.
Gaining my strength back. Yeah, I was giving guided tours of the local hospitals.
How are you doing, Purple? Can you talk yet?
I can, but I shouldn't do too much of it.
Okay. We won't make you talk then.
Yeah, my voice has been having the habit of just kind of dropping at random.
Okay, no problem.
Well, if you've been listening, I'm actually filling out my election ballot right now.
Oh, cool. Hi, Junie.
Junie, baby.
Do we have a topic tonight?
Do we ever?
Well, we were talking through, but we can stop that now that you're here.
Well, since I wasn't going to be talking that much, I decided the only topic was going to be that this is the first episode of my 9th season.
I need to change my name.
Uh-oh.
No, I did a stream the other day where we were celebrating All Saints Day. So I declared everyone saints and told everyone they could be the saint of whatever they wanted. And mine still says Saint Granny, patron saint of sass. So that's left over from Tuesday. I forgot to change that.
Okay, yeah. I
Well,
see.
you can change it right now.
Can I? I thought I had to leave the studio to change it.
No, click on the little thing that has your picture up in the corner. You know that.
Yeah, the 3 dots next to your
Oh,
picture.
there.
Yeah,
Okay,
it used to be
thanks.
you had to step out of the room for it, but StreamYard's updated that.
Oh,
Yeah, just
That's
add his
handy.
name and it does it in real time.
there we go.
But we can't see it when there's a thing on the bottom. There it is. Well, no, it still says Saint
There we
Granny,
are.
Saint of Sass.
Yeah, the change didn't
Did
take
you
very-
save it? You have to
Oh,
save
there
it.
it goes now. It took it
Okay.
a moment to update it. She's back to her normal name now.
Yep.
When you said you're going to change your name, I thought maybe you're going to become Godless Grandpa and to support Robin. You know, it's
Oh, God.
boy.
I had a great moment when I was at the store today.
Uh-oh.
That this old guy, must have been like 90, came up to me and in just the most stereotyped Southern gentleman voice, said, "Hey, little lady, can you help me find something?"
All right. I bet that's taken through clouds.
He
And
thought
you
I
said
worked
for you-
there, but yeah.
You said for you, sweetheart, anything.
Yeah.
See, that's when you take the opportunity to say, well, if you pull down your zipper, we can probably find it. You know,
Oh, Jesus.
I'm a pig. I'm sorry. Well, no, I'm not sorry.
What really sucks is as I was driving into the grocery store today, he inundated by a bunch of DeSantis signs.
Mhm.
I'm basically surrounded by Republicans.
God, I would just be so thrilled if you fucking lost.
Well, around here, despite the fact that there's still a good amount of like Trump signs, it looks like we're most likely going to have a Democratic representative at the end of this.
That's cool.
That would be
That's
nice.
cool. I don't know if you saw what I mentioned in my stream, but our governor's race here, the Democratic candidate is just as bad as our Republican candidate.
Oh, well,
Our-
they have to be down there.
Yeah, our Democratic candidate went and visited Kent Hovind at Dinosaur Adventureland.
Oh, God.
Oh, lovely.
And our Republican candidate is a transphobe.
Yeah. Well, I guess you have to be a transphobe in order to become a Republican, right?
Yeah, probably. Fortunately, there is a libertarian candidate. I'm voting for the libertarian candidate. I don't even know who he is, but he's not Yolanda Flowers and he's not a Republican. So I'm going to vote for him.
Yeah, what we were saying about libertarians, that's like they don't want to have a government, but they think somehow all the services will still be there.
Yeah.
They never seem to really have a plan for how things are going to work.
They're just Republicans without all those nasty rules.
Mm.
I used to be one of them. Then I grew up, sort of.
What was that guy's name? LaRouche, Lyndon LaRouche.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember in high school, his name floating around. And this was calling himself a libertarian or some other new name in the political scene. He had this rap that sounded like he was absolutely fucking God, and this is the most genius thing to ever come along. And a lot of young people started getting attracted to it. Then you find out who the fuck he was. No.
Well, I know a lot of the young people just, hate the idea that it seems like you can't vote for anyone who's below retirement age. So just the idea of somebody being under 60 years running is automatically an attraction.
Hey, Beck. How the hell are you?
I would sure like to see somebody run for president who's in their late 40s, early 50s. Hey, Beck, how you doing?
Attorney General, there's only two choices.
Hey, Beck.
So obviously I'm not going with the Republican.
Vote blue or get screwed.
Well, get screwed somewhat less.
Right.
So if it's only a choice between a
Stop saying that.
Republican or a
Stop saying
Democrat,
that, will you? We're talking about the difference between a party that wants you dead and one that wants you alive. They
I'm
are
not
not
sure
the same. Period. They
I
are
didn't
not
say
the
I
same.
didn't say they were the
No,
same.
but anytime not just you, but anybody makes that implication, and equating them, they're not. They're just not. One wants to kill you and other people.
yeah, one
And
wants
then
to
the
stab
other
you in
one
the
wants
back,
to
the other
let
one
them
stab you
kill
in the
I don't
gut.
care what kind of money the Democrats take. They don't want to kill me.
Well, the Democrats have the sense to realize that if there aren't a lot of people to buy the stuff that's being produced, our economy won't work. You know, they at least realize there's a reason to keep the general population alive.
It does make it simpler when there's only two choices, and one of them's a Republican, which basically makes it one choice.
I don't know. I'm kind of sorry about the way things are going over here, though, because, okay, Fetterman isn't in exactly the best of health, but Oz isn't fucking sane.
Yeah, he's a charlatan.
Yes.
I'd definitely go.
You're
with
far better
Fetterman.
off with Fetterman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I like him dearly. We talked after the 2016 election. Back when I was actually thinking of running for Senate.
Oh, so you've actually met him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a decent guy. I like him.
Yeah, Oz is just that the Republicans got the idea that anyone who has enough name recognition can get elected.
Yes.
So they're just trying to run sports heroes and TV stars.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah, and then pick on the Democrats because they're so Hollywood, you know. So, well, dude, again, the hypocrisy, your specialty.
Yeah, let's see. Next one, we've got a Republican or a Libertarian for
what?
hospital board, District Seat 2 hospital board. No, I'm definitely not voting Republican. They made too much of a pest of themselves.
For what position?
Hospital board.
Hospital board? What the fuck is that?
Someone who's on the board of the hospital.
Well, it's obviously something that Florida needs.
Well, then write in Dr. Oz.
There's no write-in option on this one.
Cross one out and write Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
Yes, it's your ballot. Do what you want.
But Florida right now for their state surgeon general or whatever the position's called there has an anti-vaxxer.
Did you see the new meme that somebody came up with on Twitter? MAGA, Make America Germany 1930 again.
That's about the size of it.
Yep. I'm trying to imagine how this would all play out if there actually still were more World War II veterans alive.
I'm kind of afraid of the way it would play out. But I know a lot of those World War II veterans.
Well, that's, you know, I keep thinking back of what if my father was alive to see this. You know, because, yeah, he was stationed in France during World War II.
Okay, then.
And they prevented repeated assaults by the German army to take the town they were stationed in. So to this day, that town has a museum dedicated to his division.
Is that in Belgium?
What was that, Jenny?
Was that in Belgium?
No, in France.
Hmm.
It was in the town of Metz, France.
Now, I have no doubt at all that the MSB would have voted enthusiastically for the fraud Trump had he been alive to do it.
I also got a page 2 here.
My father, you know, my mom died in '87, so I can't say anything about where she was at politically. But my dad clearly became more and more liberal as he went on in his years. He started to become very incensed with how the Republicans wanted to, you know, fuck up things, and you know, he could even see their hypocrisy in their lives 20 years ago.
My dad was always very liberal. When I was a kid, he was marching against the Vietnam War and marching in favor of civil rights.
Mm-hmm. I know my dad voted for Kennedy, but I also know he voted for Reagan.
Mm.
Well, yeah, you were basically voting the same side of the coin on both of those because Kennedy was quite conservative. I mean,
My dad always said that Jimmy Carter was the best president we ever had in his lifetime.
I was brought up Democrat.
I think he's right up there. I think Obama really exceeded everything.
I agree.
There could be.
I agree.
Oh man, the MSB hated Obama. It was all about that surfeit of melanin.
Yep.
I think Jimmy Carter's main problem was that he was really too nice to deal with a lot of the foreign heads of state.
Yeah, he was too good a person. That's why.
Yeah. Well, he was a good person, and he tried to give them credit for all being good people. And
remember, Carter lost only in the last few months of the race,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all because of the
Iran hostages. Yeah.
Yeah, the hostages and stuff like that, which the Reagan campaign manipulated behind the scenes that entire situation.
Yep.
And made an agreement with the damn terrorists that they would not announce it until after Reagan was elected, so that he would look good and give them what they want.
Yeah, well, and Jimmy Carter said that he would not campaign until the hostages were free.
Yeah, that's right. He did say that.
Yeah, so he wasn't traveling the country or giving speeches.
Yeah, that fucking Reagan. Oh, God, what a underhanded son of a bitch.
I am so sorry, people. I actually supported that piece of shit.
Well, that was the first president's platform that screwed my life really good. I mean, just their attitude about social services and stuff like that made our jobs significantly harder because we had to suddenly put all our energy into fundraising and looking for money to survive instead of, you know, having these partial federal grants that, you know, would cough up maybe $30,000 a year to keep the program running. Because, you know, that's so much money.
Oh yeah,
it's less than a goddamn bomb.
I was gonna say, yeah, military couldn't even buy a tank for that.
No. No. Not even close.
Yeah, and that's the thing I keep asking is, do we really need to have 7 aircraft carriers? Couldn't they cut it down to 6 and use some of that money for social programs?
Sure, they could.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to be the world police?
Yeah, but an aircraft carrier is a floating city. I'm not even sure now, like how many personnel they have, but I'm thinking it's like 10,000 when you count all the airmen and all the flight crews and everything.
Well, why don't I?
Are you looking it up?
Of course.
Yep, she's doing the Google foo.
Complement 3,532 air wingmen. 2,000 crew between 5,000 and 5,200.
Commander, that would be spelled Lyndon.
Okay, according to this thing, as many as 5,000. That's fewer than I thought.
Yeah, it's less than I thought too, but
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The complement of an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Oh.
But also part of it is that an aircraft carrier doesn't operate alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's always surrounded by destroyers and escort ships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's always a battle group with a carrier. They're never alone. In fact, they're building all these new class of ship that's not quite a destroyer, but it's much more stealth, just based on its design to reflect radar differently. So it's less seen, if at all, on the water.
Yeah.
They actually build a bunch of those up in Manitowoc, Wisconsin.
Well, because now, with planes being the main strike weapon and the ships never getting within view of each other, the aircraft's main role is providing anti-aircraft fire so enemy planes can't get near the carrier.
Yeah, and then all they have to do is drop a couple of those French missiles that'll fly 3 feet off the ocean and poke right through the damn carrier in one shot. Which is how the Ukrainians took out that Russian ship. The American equivalent of that weapon.
Page 1 of 4 done. Now we got a council member seat here.
Yeah, aren't carriers like 1,000, 1,200 feet long or something outrageously big like that?
Yeah, again, I'd have to look it up. I lost track, but I think that something around 1,000 was that they were like the length of 3 football fields.
1,092 feet for a Nimitz class.
Boy, that's actually, when you think of it, that's amazingly short for handling jets takeoff and landing.
Well,
that's wow, amazing.
And the Nimitz are the class that came out in the 80s. I think the Gerald Ford are the newest ones.
Yeah, well, this is why you're using, well, it isn't steam anymore. What are they? Induction motors to throw these things out of the air?
They on the cables, or I mean the catapult.
Yeah.
They tried to use that, but they had trouble with it. Some people were killed in its testing and stuff like that, and it kind of got scrapped.
Okay.
But the military is still going ahead with induction weapons and stuff like that. They really want to be able to poke holes and shit by surprise. Those fucking munitions move so fast. It's just amazing. Railguns is what I'm talking about in chat, if you're not aware of all this military shit.
Yeah, basically a replacement for the steam catapults.
According to Wikipedia, the Gerald Ford class carrier is also 1,092 feet.
Okay, they may have been built on the same hole then, and it's just the upper deck that changed.
Donald Trump thinks his penis is that big.
He thinks everything about himself is that big.
Jesus.
I wish I could say what I'm thinking about him, but it would be a crime if I did.
Oh well, yeah, we don't want you arrested. Don't do that.
The funniest thing about Donald Trump is that he's routinely going on live TV and undermining any defense his lawyers come up for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why so many lawyers of his quit. Now he's down to the law students that he uses. Donald is such a joke.
Well, apparently he is going to have to sit and answer questions for the January 6th committee. He's been trying to put that off, but the judges keep shooting down all of his reasons why he can't do it.
I'm really happy that the judge finally told what's his name? God, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. The South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham told him to pound sand, get your ass in front of that grand jury and answer questions in the Georgia manipulations.
Yeah, it's good that they're actually telling these guys that they can't just dodge everything anymore. That they've got to at least answer questions.
All right.
Although the Trump court did give him a break and once again delay the Congress getting his tax returns. He said that they don't have to give them up while it's still under appeal. Well, Alex, I would like to put something in his face. I don't know if spit's the right choice for me.
I agree.
But it would be attached to a donkey's crotch. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah, my head is definitely still foggy. I'm not thinking too clearly, and I'm having trouble just pulling everybody's links for this.
And don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Brian, you might be perfectly correct. I haven't paid attention to anything current on those for a number of years.
Sorry,
Changing the subject a bit, Mage, I have a question for you about tomatoes.
Oh, what?
Actually, it's more a question about aerial gardens. Okay, so I started an aerial garden months ago, and the first thing I grew was several herbs. And at one point, I decided I wanted to try growing something else, and I took them out and I tried transplanting them. The only thing that survived the transplant was my basil. I still have a nice basil plant growing in my kitchen. And then I planted some tomatoes, and the tomatoes are doing pretty good, but the roots are so long that they've taken over the entire aerial garden. And I'm afraid to transplant them. I'm not sure what to do with them.
They should transplant just fine.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomatoes are pretty hardy when it comes to that kind of thing.
Okay.
In fact, if you want, you can even cut a piece off, put it in some water, grow some more roots, and transplant that if you really need to.
Okay.
I would have thought the problem would be the basil was faulty. That's okay. I was expecting about 2 people to actually get that joke. So
Try it again. I didn't know it was a joke.
I was expecting the basil was faulty.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't.
You never saw the series Faulty Towers.
That's what I thought you
No.
were talking about.
The main character's first name was Basil.
Okay. Mark Short got it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only people who were watching the BBC comedies from the 70s who'd have any clue.
What's the cat's name?
Pussy?
Which one?
Wrong show.
Diana's cat
Ah.
came into the picture, and so I was asking about Diana's cat.
Oh, she's Sylvia.
That's Sylvia. Okay.
Sammy's son has a big crush on her. If I have it on the speakers and Sylvia gets in the mic, Sammy tries to climb into the monitor.
Yeah, she's my 6-year-old kitten.
Did you say 6 year?
6. Yep.
Well, that's pretty much a baby yet, isn't it? Don't cats live to like 80 or 90?
No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's approaching middle age. That
The average lifespan for a cat is 11, but most cats get hit by cars. Cats that don't have exposure to traffic have a 20-year life expectancy.
My Miranda died at
Yep.
15.
Most of my cats have made it to around 18.
Yeah, aside from ones that were accidents or got attacked, mine have always been in the 15 to 20 range.
I would say your Miranda was probably just exercising her rights and committed suicide.
Probably.
One of my fiance's cats was 22.
She was in some pretty bad health, and in my lap the last hours of her life, but she absolutely refused to die until I had fallen asleep.
Did the chicken hawk just hit the cat or take it?
Yeah.
I mixed what Ox. I haven't been watching the side chat very well. Ox had a cat taken by a chicken hawk.
There was an eagle nest that came down. It was in a dead tree, and one of the branches finally gave up in a storm. And so the whole nest came down, and somebody from town went and investigated it and found two dogs, may have been puppies, but 2 dogs and 3 cats, skeletons in the immediate vicinity of the nest.
Alrighty.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, they get hungry. That's what they do.
Yeah, in Michigan, my sister lost one of hers to an owl.
Andrew, they could fix that for you. You know, there's doctors that can do that.
Yeah, I have Kitty asleep on my ankle as usual.
Ox, isn't it neat living somewhere where those kind of birds are just common as snot? It's really cool. I love it.
Well, Ox is in the same area where I used to live with my fiance there.
I was going to go on eagle expedition this weekend. See if I can shoot a couple.
Shoot them?
Yeah. I've got this really nice, 400 millimeter lens. And
Oh, okay. You
got
just
my
mean a
tripod.
camera.
Gonna
You
walk.
mean a camera, not a gun.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't shoot them with a
Yeah,
gun.
well, that's what I was wondering about. That was the one thing that up in Michigan, since we were so far from any kind of city, there was a lot of wildlife around.
Mm-hmm.
The owls were common, and every time we drove to Walmart, one stretch we drove through, there were always eagles just patrolling over the highway looking for roadkill.
Mark, that's a very typical size for a full-grown female eagle. They say they're anywhere from 8 to 12 feet, which is just amazing when you think about it. I mean, I'm sitting in a room that's 12 feet wide right now.
Yeah.
And the thing would extend tip to tip in this room, and just like, holy Jesus.
If you haven't been up close to them, most people don't realize how big eagles are.
Oh, yeah.
Secretary birds are the coolest.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen too often, but when eagles are chewing on some road debris, like a deer, they will, as you drive by, they'll just stand there and say, "Come on, mother." Yeah, it's they're not really that afraid of you.
I had one time I thought one was actually going to hit my car because it came in so low, and then it swooped up just before the car.
Mm-hmm. It does happen, and if I ever see one on the road, I will pull over to the opposing lane if I have to, if it's clear. It's just like that video that I sent, that I uploaded.
Well, it swooped in so suddenly I didn't even have a chance to react. But it was less than 2 feet above the windshield when it came up.
Yeah, that does happen. We once in a while we get a dead eagle report from getting hit by a car. And they don't blame anybody for that, but nobody likes it when it happens.
Well, yeah, I would get very distressed when I hit any kind of wildlife. Even when I hit a skunk years ago, it just...
I had a really bad year with animals in my car. I have killed, unfortunately, one turtle. It was a very small baby one, and it didn't look like anything other than a rock until I was about 5 feet from it, and then I realized, my God, this is a turtle. There's no way I could move out of its way and stuff. And I've nailed a couple of frogs.
Yeah.
And I think I hit a bird, but I know I hit a bird because it was stuck in my grill. But I thought I hit a second one. But I'm not sure.
Well, the car that I'm having to junk now has a dent in the driver's fender about the size of a basketball where a deer hit me. I didn't hit the deer. The deer T-boned the car.
That's not unusual.
Yeah. And it's how can they not see it? Come on, dear.
They're not very bright.
Apparently.
Well, in this case, it was a group of them. And it's like the first two came out into the road, and I managed to swerve to avoid the first two. And then the third one ran right into the car.
That's part of the reason why an accident with a deer is a comprehensive coverage rather than a collision coverage. Because trying to sort out whether you hit the deer or the deer hit you just isn't worth the trouble. So it's a comp coverage.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
How about glass? How's that get covered?
It depends on what broke it. If it was broken by a stone, that's a roadbed collision. I can't remember if that's. I believe that's still a collision coverage, but a lot of policies do have separate glass coverage, and most of them will pay for glass repair if it can be repaired without being replaced. They'll pay for that and waive the deductible because it's cheaper for them if you can than if you pay the deductible and they pay the rest of the cost of replacing it.
I'm about to get a new insurance policy, and I'd really like to have my glass covered. I've been very lucky that way. All the stones I've been hit by have all just bounced off. But one of these days.
Yeah, well, the rural roads where you drive, it's a lot more likely to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody blew up a turkey around here last week. What? And I don't mean with explosives,
Okay.
Hit it with a car and they just kind of explode. Just a very messy carcass on the side of the road. It's really heartbreaking though when you're near a farm and you see a cat in the road. You know it belongs to the farm, and there's probably some kids, and even barn cats have family and kids like them and stuff like that. So it's sad when you see a kid's pet splattered on the road.
Yeah.
We were driving home from the Nashville airport recently, and people in a car near us, they had their window down and their dog fell out the window.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
And we swerved and were able to miss the dog. And I wasn't sure if anyone else would, but Robin had been sleeping and woke up, and I was afraid that Robin was going to get freaked out over the dog. So we wouldn't tell Robin. My husband and I had been, exclaiming about it, but we weren't saying what it was. And we kept saying, no, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Trust us. You don't want to know. And so Robin then had this image in his mind of something really, really, really horrible. So finally I said, all right, and I told him what happened. He said, that's all? I was thinking it was something far worse. But yeah, I felt bad when that dog fell out that window.
I was in elementary school. One of our fellow students, David Poole, had his dog run over by the school bus he was riding in. Yeah, that must have been just horrible.
One of the most heartbreaking claims that I ever handled was a case where a 6-year-old boy got run over by a coal truck. The kids were going to school, and the school bus stopped, and its stop arm was out. And the children's parent, father, was right there with him. He looked and he saw that the cars were stopping behind the school bus, and told the kids it was safe to cross the street, and they started to cross the street. But it's near the bottom of a hill, and this coal truck came over the hill, and when he saw the school bus and the cars stopped, he knew he couldn't stop. So he went around them because he didn't want to hit the cars. And he didn't realize, the kids were crossing, and he hit a 6-year-old kid and killed him.
Oh, no.
I remember one of my mom's stories. She was driving past a really bad accident just as they were removing the guy's head from the vehicle.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, she was kind of shooken up for a while after that.
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
Hello, how's it going, everybody?
Bubsky.
Hey, Diana, how you doing?
Oh, a little bit this, a little bit that. Go for me, go for you. What am I talking about? I don't know.
I honestly, I'm sorry that I had to leave a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, no, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I feel like a dick all the same.
Well, hey, we all appreciate that you showed up and got her back home from the hospital when she wasn't even sure if she could get into the building.
Yeah,
I actually got a little pissed about that.
I still need to get a mailbox key, but I'm working on that. I mean, my mailbox key will open the mailbox if I work at it long and hard enough.
So you've got an old key that's like got one tooth missing?
Actually, it's an attempt at getting a spare key cut, and it didn't cut right.
Mm.
But then, all my keys and everything else disappeared with the one trip to the hospital. So I did find Theodore. I was happy about that. And I did find the headset I thought I lost. Just wish I could find that set of keys. Oh well. But yeah, it was October was hospital month. Jesus.
Yeah, let's not make that a yearly event.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not. I like that idea.
Wonder why that might be. I mean, as unpleasant as the hospital trip was for me, I mean, holy shit, you were there for a week and a half before I got there, Diana?
About that, yep.
Fuck that.
No, I think I spent almost half the month in the 2 trips in the hospital. And
Yeah,
then
well, you certainly had us all worried with, not knowing what was going on there.
I was all worried about Sylvia. Well, took her about, 3 hours and some odd to come out of hiding.
Yeah, it was about 3 hours.
I think she thought I was assumed into hell or something. I don't know.
Well, you had a stranger in there too, so.
Moo.
Yeah, I didn't help anything with that.
Well,
actually, I probably hurt.
Well, when I went there, when Diana was in the hospital, I was going in alone. She was still at the hospital. So Sylvia hid for 2 days. I never saw the cat. I heard her a couple of times. I never saw her.
That was the trip when the kidneys had failed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was giving guided tours because I was in McKeesport twice, and then I was in East beginning of this week for the cardiac cath.
Mm-hmm.
What else is going to go wrong?
Don't ask that question.
Don't
ask it. It'll happen.
Find out. Oh, shit.
Hell, even I've learned that lesson. Don't ask it. Darling, I'm half your age. You know that. I know not to do that.
Child.
But I'm glad you're okay. I really am. I'm glad I was able to help you out of the hospital when I did.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
Honestly, I wish the medical staff could have done better because you went back in like a day after I left. 2 days.
It was a day or 2 days between hospital stays. Yes,
that really sucked.
I think it was 2 days because there was dialysis treatment on either side.
Yeah, so was that something that I missed when you were in before?
I don't know what the hell it was. But I just hit the floor after that second dialysis treatment. So there I was for another, 7-8 days, whatever it was. Can't remember exactly how long. Those people are not the friendliest people I've ever run into. East was okay, but then again, I was dealing with outpatient.
I had the same thing happen when I went in for AFib the first time. As I went to the ER, it was late at night. I had no idea what to do. The ambulance took me, and they treated me for hours and hours and hours. And they said, "Okay, you can go home now." And I said, "This isn't fixed. I'm going to end up back here. Don't discharge me yet. Investigate this more." And of course, I'm just a stupid kid in the ER, so they ignored me. And 24 hours later, I was back.
Well, they accuse you of putting it on just to show them up?
No, they knew it was a legitimate case, but they were having lots and lots of problems trying to get the heart to slow down, and they were successful. And they got it to slow down a little bit, and said, "Okay, well, it'll be fine." And I was like, "No, it won't. I can feel it. It's not going to be fine." But they know better, the doctors.
Well, my blood pressure is finally in a range close anyway to where it's supposed to be. After a year and a half of being out of control and high for longer than that. As a matter of fact, Tuesday, the blood pressure crashed and I nearly passed out. Oh, God. I hate when that happens.
I've been wondering if there's something, like those medical alert things, but ones that instead of having to subscribe to a service, it would just call a pre-programmed number for, whoever's close to you.
Well,
It's not a bad idea.
Well,
obviously I've been thinking about that a lot with Sloth Girl. I'm
you
just
already have
worried
that.
that she's going to fall.
You already have that. It's called 911 on your cell phone.
Yeah, but I mean more like the thing that, like it hangs around your neck, so you've always got with you and you just press one button.
Yeah,
Because like if you fall and can't get up and can't get to your phone.
Well, then you probably deserve to die. That's what they said at our Republican Party meeting.
Well, Jesus would not want you to have medical coverage,
Well, that's true.
Jesus was a bloody socialist.
Of course.
He told everybody that they were supposed to take care of their neighbors and give away all their money.
Fucking commie.
Oh, boy.
Jesus was a dark-skinned commie. Eat that, Republicans.
Yeah, Jesus would never get through any airport in America today.
Ever see Dark Matter 2525's video on that?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't remember.
He ends up being thrown in Guantanamo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like the right place. I mean, wouldn't want to bring something like that into a regular prison.
I have to address this. What is with people not always having phones in their pockets? Well, what I have been learning over the last year is it's really rare for any women's clothing to have a pocket big enough to put a phone in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a problem I constantly have. My phone is constantly falling out of my pocket, and bending over is not easy for me.
What you can do, Cal? Just use your bra.
Use what?
Your bra.
Oh.
I bought this this pouch I wear on my belt for my phone.
I think that we need a real push to just make pockets a fashion statement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I start putting kangaroo pouches on dresses.
Yeah, you're going to change that industry. Good luck.
Yeah, especially since I don't have the money to buy any of their stuff.
Even if you did, I don't care if you're one of those bigger designers on earth. You're not going to change the industry for pockets. They don't want women to have pockets so that they can see their curves. And that's the only reason there's no pockets.
Yeah, because it will ruin the lines of the outfit.
Yep.
Where? I don't.
At least during
Sure.
this season, I've got a jacket all the time, so I can have a jacket that's got pockets.
Like anybody wants to see my curves, you know? Especially since I have much fewer curve. Jesus Christ, the last hospital visit, I lost 10 kilos.
I'm sure it's not a weight loss plan that you would recommend for most women, though, what is it?
Definitely.
Yeah, Sloth Girl's been dropping weight because of the chemo to the point that the doctors have gotten concerned and are prescribing her those protein shakes.
Oh, right. Yeah. I can't have those. Phosphorus.
I'm not really clear what's in them, and trying to read the package isn't much of a help. I think you need a chemistry major just to read the package.
Pretty much. I'll give you the IUPAC name of all the amino acids in there.
Well, sometime ask them for the chemical name for tomato juice. You won't like it.
If it makes anyone feel better, I have a half wolf, half husky.
A who? What?
Half wolf, half husky.
Oh.
What, a wusky or a half?
Wait, front half or back half?
I heard that a husky has to be bred with a wolf once every 4 generations.
Something like that.
I've never heard.
I don't know if that's true. I just heard that.
No, I never heard
I
that.
could believe Malamute maybe, but a husky, that little bitty thing.
An Alaskan husky.
Same thing. That's all I'm thinking about. Malamutes are like twice the size of a husky.
Mm.
Roughly.
Malamutes are twice the size of a Sherman tank.
Yeah.
That's also true.
My sister used to have Malamutes. And one trip back from Michigan, the dog just decided that she was going to take the back seat and I was going to sit on the floor.
Fair.
Well, at the time, I only
were.
weighed about 20 pounds more than the dog did. And I didn't have the teeth and claws, so I wasn't up to arguing too much.
I mean, Jared's a sweet boy, but I honestly wonder if he's got the balls to fight me for primacy. Do you, buddy?
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, right
he
now.
doesn't have the reason to.
Right. It's okay. I'll give you some meat when I'm done. It's okay. It's not stopping him from slobbering all over my clothes. That's great.
Yeah, Sammy checked out my dinner and saw that it was just all meat and cheese, so he had no interest. He likes bread. I have never seen a cat like this that just loves bread and crackers.
Oh, see, I've heard that before. People say that their cat loves pizza and then realize it's not the pizza that they like, it's just the crust.
Now, Sylvia will dive all over my bread if she gets the chance.
Sammy's absolute favorite treat are the Cheez-Its crackers.
Ooh.
My cats never ate anything except meat and cheese.
Well, that's the thing. I've got the meat and cheese, and it's like
Mhm.
the meat. Sammy will sniff it. He might take one lick, but that's it. Then he just leaves it. It's like once he knows what it is, he's lost interest in the meat.
Aunt Jer says her cat likes salad.
Guapo, one of the cats I had in New York, loved the Life cereal.
Okay, then.
Just the dry cereal. He would steal it out of my bowl before I could put the milk on.
My Winston liked the pumpkin filling for the pumpkin pies.
Oh yeah, me too. You just sit there with a spoon and just start eating that stuff right when it's still liquid. Num num. Get a straw.
I had tried to give some of that to Sammy because somebody had recommended it for him being constipated, that it could help. But again, it's like, yeah, he took a little taste of it. Wasn't much interested.
Somewhere around here, I've got a picture of Winston with pumpkin filling all over his nose.
Toward the end of life, my vet called my cat my bag of bones. It was hard to get him to eat anything. He only wanted dry cat food, nothing else. And he suggested putting tuna oil on it, and I tried that, and that did help. He did eat some of the food with the tuna oil on it.
Mm-hmm.
No, the liquid from tuna cans. Used to give that to my cats.
Yep. I always do that. Anytime I drink a can of tuna, I give it to the cats.
Oh yeah, used to do that. This one
I don't have a cat, so I just lick it out myself.
This one isn't too keen on tuna for some reason.
I don't know but Sammy with the Cheez-Its, if he smells those, he just goes crazy. I had one, there was a burnt one in the pack, and I didn't think anything of it. I just dropped it in the garbage by my chair. That is the only time he has ever gone into a garbage can. He was willing to flip the garbage over for a Cheez-It. In the 4 years I had him, he has never put his head in the garbage can.
I'm going to have to get going here. I've got a bunch of heart.
I do too.
Heart tests I got to go through tomorrow morning at 8.
Oh, okay. Hope that all goes well for you.
Fun.
Yep.
Well, it'll either go well or they'll give me the date that it's too late anymore. I'm going for an echocardiogram, and if you know anything about congestive heart failure, this is the test that they give to see how much worse your heart has gotten since the last time you did it.
Yep.
It's never good news. It's always, you're a little worse, maybe a lot worse. We'll find out.
So it's just kind of the rate it's going.
Yeah, it's maybe now you have 3 to 5 years or 6 to 8 years or that kind of thing. It's the test that's no fun.
I gotta say there is some Weasley language on some of these options.
What, you have a couple of referendum items on the ballot?
Charter amendments.
Oh, man. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I need to get to pharmacy and pick up the new cardiac medications. I'm on an entire pharmacy for my heart, for Christ's sake.
Well, I need to get going, but it was good seeing you again, Purple.
Yep. Well, always great when you come in.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Okay, good night.
Thank you, Kelly. Be good.
Good to see you, Cal. Thanks for coming.
I suppose I should be asking Sinister Porpoise this, but is a vegetarian porpoise a tuna-safe dolphin? Okay. I'm just too sick. I shouldn't be making jokes.
Okay, then.
Yeah, you're broken. They're definitely,
There's some sick jokes.
we can tell.
Like I said, I can tell my head's still kind of foggy.
Ox, is she wearing one of those 24-hour halter monitors? They're looking for AFib or something. Did you hear what happened today? I can't believe this. We're never going to get rid of these fuckers. Benjamin Netanyahu was elected to be prime minister again.
Oh, I saw that.
After he got pounded out of office for being corrupt and doing all this theft and shit like this. And now they put him back in office. Christ almighty.
Well, you know that Boris is on a fast track to be PM again, right?
No, they picked that Indian guy.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, I have heard that current guy is not expected to last very long.
Yeah, will we last as long as Liz did? I don't know.
The 45-day wonder?
Yeah, huh? Heads of lettuce have lasted longer than Liz Truss.
I think the UK is just jealous because Australia's got that record of going through 8 prime ministers in 5 years.
There's a lot of us out here who are very, very pleased that happened to Liz Truss because she is noted for her anti-trans stance.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I didn't really care for much of anything she said. You know, and just... she was still pushing the idea that Brexit was going to save the country, and it's like, haven't they already proven that doesn't work?
Well, it's the same here with them over and over and over. Oh, trickle down taxes, you know. Yeah, make the rich richer and the poor poorer. That's a fine idea. Well, okay, I'm going to take off, kids. Chat, thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for sticking with us.
Okay, Jenny. Yeah, thanks for coming and helping keeping things going for me.
You betcha.
Das Vidania.
Oh, this is an easy yes one. Currently, the council elects a vice mayor edits his first regular meeting following the election, which can occur before the certification of the election results in the the seating of any newly elected members. Should the charter be amended to have council will elect a vice mayor at its first regular meeting and following the certification of the results of the city election. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a yes or no question, huh?
Yeah, it's a yes or no question.
Cross out yes and write maybe.
No, that's a definite yes.
Oh, okay.
Because you say you have a real shitty group in there, they can install somebody on their side after we voted them out.
All right, I'm done. Take care, you guys. Love
Yeah.
you very much.
Good night, Jay.
Chat, love you very much too.
That's the problem with a lot of those ballot initiatives. They word them in such a way that you don't know if you're voting for or against it.
All right.
Yeah, these are a lot of amendments. It's a yes or no stuff.
Esto por aquí esté.
This election is going to be scary because there's already so many people who are sure it's invalid before it happened. Across the country, Republicans have already filed over 100 challenges to the elections. It's like, aren't you supposed to at least wait until the day after the election before you start, putting in the lawsuits claiming that it was crooked? And of course, in virtually every case of election fraud they can find, it has been people who were supporting the MAGA crowd. I mean, you've got one or two, I know Florida managed to come up with a handful of people, and the majority of them turned out to be Democrats who had voted because they didn't know they weren't supposed to.
Oh yeah, that bullshit. There was a lot of underhanded stuff from DeSantis on that one.
Yeah. I saw some footage of it. It's like the police officers were apologizing for arresting the guy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm ordered to do this, but I know this is wrong. And unfortunately, that's the problem, that, if the Republicans get in power, they're going to do everything they can to make sure that we can't have a fair election again.
From my understanding of that whole thing is, you voted to let felons get their rights back, and then after we voted for it, they changed things around on us.
Yeah, I didn't quite get the whole story, but that's what I caught, that most of these people who were arrested thought that since they had served their time, they were allowed to vote again.
Yeah, so technically, when they registered, they were allowed to vote. And then they changed the rules on them about a year later.
Yeah, Junie, I'm not sure what you mean by the right-wing propaganda. The election stuff I've been seeing has been mostly really confusing. One of the things I noticed is that most of it has a candidate's name and doesn't tell you what party they're associated with. You know, that makes me suspicious straight off if they can't say what party is supporting them.
Yeah.
And it used to be that, you know, the Republicans were printing everything in red and the Democrats were printing it all in blue. And now I'm getting all the stuff in green and yellow. And Minnesota has a fairly strong Green Party. You know, we've actually got a couple of members of the Green Party in the state assembly.
Yeah, let's see.
Of course, the other weird thing I find about all the election stuff, and this was happening in 2022, is I get all the fear-mongering from the Republicans about everything that they think the Democrats are going to do if they get into office. And then I get the things from their Democratic opponents promising that those are the things they are going to do. You know, so it's like the Republicans think we're supposed to be afraid of the things that the Democrats want to do. And the Democrats are proud of it. Did you hear one of the Republican proposals for Social Security is that they don't think it should be a guaranteed program? They basically want to make it like a budget item, so Congress has to, you know, vote to reinitiate it every 5 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, in fact, another guy he proposed is that it should be he put up for vote for every year. So apparently that idea got shot down.
Yeah. Well, you know, and anyway about it, it's pretty scuzzy because the people who are reaching retirement age means that they've been paying into this program for 40 some years already.
Let's see. I think wasn't that Rick Scott who was proposing the 5-year renewal thing?
Yeah, I don't know specifically who. I just knew it was the Republican Party pushing for it.
Oh God. Oh, I'm old. Oh.
Almost done with this ballot. Just have a few more questions to finish up here.
Okay, Diana, when did you sneak off and get old on us?
I don't know. I constantly ask, when did I get old and why did I do it? I think I got old well before my time. I'll give you that much. What do you think, kitten?
Yeah, Junie. This is actually a problem in the Constitution. That the 13th Amendment that abolished slavery made an exception for people in prisons.
Yeah.
So, yes, the state can legally use people in prisons as slave labor. Yeah, Andrew was just typing that as I said it. You know, and that was fucked up to begin with. But now that we have prisons that are run as being for-profit businesses, yeah, that's really fucked up.
I am completely against the whole for-profit prison thing.
Did you know that if you call AT&T for customer support, a lot of their support centers are in prisons? That they contract to the prisons for having people answer the phones?
I did not know that.
Yep. Well, it's also a big reason why we haven't gotten the marijuana legalized on a national level, is because the lobbyists for the prisons are whining that, if you have to let go of all these people who were only arrested on a simple drug charge, that's going to cut into the number of people they've got. And it's a real problem in some states. I think it was Louisiana, that the contracts they signed with the corporations that run the prisons have quotas to them.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that if the state doesn't convict enough people to keep the prison population up, the state actually winds up paying the corporation.
That's a bad setup.
Yeah, there is something very wrong with the idea that the state has a financial incentive to convict people regardless of the actual facts of their case. Hey, Doc, you on the sick list too?
Oh no, everybody's sick.
I'm surprised Doc doesn't get it a lot more, just considering his work and that he's exposed to people traveling through from other states all the time.
Yeah, that would do it. And yeah, I suppose you also build up a good immune system that way too.
I always used to have a good immune system. I'm wondering too if that kind of took a permanent hit from the COVID, because I don't seem to be handling these, bits of flus as well as I used to.
It's possible. I suppose any respiratory thing might hit you harder.
Well, I did have a chest x-ray last month that they confirmed that, yes, I actually have lost some lung capacity because some of these sections of my lower lungs have collapsed. So, yeah, that was definitely a result of having COVID last year. It just means I can't suck as much air in at one time as I used to, which explains why I tend to get winded when walking fairly short distances when I used to walk 5 miles and not think much of it.
Should the charter be amended to remove a requirement that city council will bond on certain city positions? I don't even know what that's asking.
Yeah. No clue here.
Well, I happen to have a cheat sheet. This Democrat at door knocker came by and gave me a sample ballot.
I've always found the League of Women Voters always produced good cheat sheets. And they actually would give you information on what each candidate, what programs each candidate was supporting. And Andrew, as far as me not sucking as much as I used to, well, that's been situational. Just haven't had the opportunity to meet many guys in the last few years. From living up in Michigan and then COVID, I haven't had a chance to meet anybody. To this day, I literally don't know anyone in the city except for the random people I run into in my own building. Yeah, Andrew, I knew what you meant. I just making joke of it.
And the cuties I run into are way out of my league.
In the grocery store, a guy did whistle as I walked by. I can't be sure if he was whistling at me or not, but, whatever, I'll take it.
Give yourself the compliment. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Sloth Girl says that the leggings really work for me, so.
Okay.
I've got good legs, at least.
Yeah, my legs are my best asset. Which isn't saying much.
Well, I'm definitely in better shape than most women my age. Just because I had, what I did for 40 years was such physical work. That's why I have to be more aware of it now, that just in the last 2 years, I went from doing so much physical stuff to sitting around so much now. It would be really easy for me to just start putting on weight.
Okay, then. I could stand to put on about 10 pounds.
Yeah, Andrew, I would probably do it if I thought anybody would pay for it. But also, even the cam girls and that, the ones to be successful, it still requires a certain amount of showmanship. And I really don't have that. I don't know how to show off for a camera.
How to show off for a camera, huh?
Well, again, this is something I really didn't even consciously realize until I was transitioning and in therapy, but I pretty much spent my whole life trying to get people to not look at me. I've done everything I could to just fade into the background and have people not notice me.
Okay, ballot's all filled out.
Okay, you can mail it or do you have a place to drop it off?
Oh, I always try and drop it off whenever I can. I'll have to look into exactly where I can take it. Probably the county tax collector area. Though they change things a lot around there. I hope I can actually find where the hell I'm going. I got a few other things I gotta fill out here, such as the sending my name to the thing and all that.
Yeah, for the 2020 election, we got early ballots for that, and I just drove them up and dropped them off at the building that has all the county offices.
Yeah, I can probably do
all
that.
The state offices, rather. Yeah.
Here's hoping I get rid of DeSantis.
Yeah, no, Andrew, I think mostly it was kind of my thing about the body dysphoria that most trans people have, that I wasn't consciously aware of it, but I just wasn't happy with the body I had, so I didn't want anybody to look, including me. One of the other things I wasn't consciously aware of until it came out in therapy is that anywhere I lived, I have never put up a mirror. Now, of course, there was one over the bathroom sink when I moved in, and one of the first things I did was disable the light on it. So this wasn't even a conscious process, but I didn't want to see myself in a mirror.
Huh. Definitely recommend hibiscus tea for your scratch or sore throat.
I didn't know hibiscus was a good one for that. I should have picked some up.
I found that out quite by accident. I had a cold and a sore throat, and I just wanted something hot to drink, and I've never tried the hibiscus tea before, and so I figured I'd try it. And it turned out just be just as good as a cough drop. Lasted about an hour and a half.
Okay. Yeah, I did pick up some things about some herbal medicine that actually worked while I was a pagan, and some things over the years. One of the things that I learned mostly from women I was with is that catnip tea is good for muscle cramps.
Huh. I've never tried that.
Well, particularly for women when they're having their period, it comes up. But
Yeah.
yeah, but just in general, if you
Well,
have a muscle cramp that just won't go away, try catnip tea.
yeah, I've gotten muscle cramps from other things. Also, I'm not exactly sure if it's a muscle cramp or what it is, but my right bicep, I'll get this sharp pain in sometimes. Just comes up at random.
Okay, Junie, are you saying the hibiscus is good for depression?
Not sure I've noticed any difference in how my mood from drinking the stuff.
I haven't noticed a mood difference in any herbal things, but again, just something that my fiance had picked up on was that my mood was noticeably different if I didn't have a bit of citrus every day.
I have been craving orange juice lately since the whole hurricane thing hit.
Has it been harder to get since then?
No, it's been pretty easy to get. It's just I just had a craving for it for some reason. I've actually drank 5 glasses today.
Yeah, well. Yeah, the hibiscus for depression. Well, all my life I've just been a big believer in that the reason I haven't really had to worry much about, my diet or that is just paying attention to my body. You listen to it, and you just eat what it's craving. And I think that's the main thing is that, most people don't really pay attention to what the cravings are. They just load up with any junk without trying to figure out what it is that they're looking for.
I'm guessing it may have been brought on by the stress from the hurricane.
Yeah, Andrew, apparently in my case, the vitamin C, not really so much depression, but more irritability. And taking vitamin C supplements didn't help either. I had to have, citrus or at least some citrus juice. So I just got in the habit of just, having an orange for breakfast every day, and then it was okay.
Yeah.
This is another odd thing I've noticed, that I used to have a terrible sweet tooth. I used to, be eating candy constantly, and I just don't have the cravings for it. And
Oh, I still have it. I still have a huge sweet tooth myself.
yeah. Again, I guess it's not really odd. I guess it's, again, just paying attention that since I'm not being as physical, my body's just not asking for the high calorie foods.
That could be it. My system's like a blast furnace, so I'm just constantly snacking. If I can
Oh
be.
yeah. Way back in the 90s, one of my daughters was doing, a food study thing for school. So she asked each of us to wear a pedometer and, make a log of everything we ate. And like the recommended 2,000 calorie a day diet. Yeah, forget that. I was consuming close to 6,000 calories a day. But at the same time, I was walking 3 to 5 miles on days that I didn't leave the house. That was just like running out to my shed and back and walking the dog. Well, the dog was the biggest part of it.
Yeah, that would do it.
Well, see, she managed to keep extending the loop a little further into the park all the time. So without me being aware of it, she had made it that our walk to the park and back was about 1.5 miles, and we were doing that twice a day.
Yeah. I've had a lot of exercise since I started doing the gardening. That's helped quite a bit. But I just normally have a high metabolism or whatever you call it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always felt I do too, that I just, I burn the stuff off a lot faster.
Yeah, the only time I seem to have lost that was when they put me on Zoloft. Then I started putting on weight. But other than that, as soon as I went off the stuff, I went back to normal.
The only time I really put on, any weight that was unusual, that wasn't just expected for changes in my age and that, was when I was in Michigan, and that's because the fresh produce was so hard to get any decent produce there. So it was literally meat and potatoes. So I was eating a lot more starch and a lot less salad and a lot more potatoes.
I find I usually feel better if I have a lot of protein in my diet.
Yeah, I still have a pretty high protein diet.
That's been pretty helpful with having the chickens, because then I can get eggs. Though they haven't been producing eggs lately, unfortunately.
Just rattled from the hurricane. They haven't settled in again yet.
No, they've been molting. It takes them a while. Plus, they're kind of getting up there in age too. So.
Well, maybe you have to remind them that the retirement plan is a stew pot.
Unfortunately, I can't.
Yeah, like Andrew was saying here, that we all evolved to crave fats and sugars because we weren't sure if we were going to eat tomorrow, and just to have high energy food. So yeah, if we need to make a quick escape. But now that we've got refined sugar in everything we eat, we get way too much of it.
Yeah, that may be in parts as to why I've been craving orange juice. So I was basically operating in survival mode for a week.
Yeah. Yeah, so your body needs to replenish some stuff that got used up.
Yeah.
Not quite the energy reserve you would normally have. Well, also just with the hurricane and, trying to secure everything before the hurricane was a lot of extra work you did.
Yeah, well, it wasn't too bad, but I had to clear out my carport. That wasn't too fun because I ran into a bunch of wasps.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. I hope you're not...
Nope, I'm not allergic. I did get stung, though. Got my ear.
Yeah, I've had a couple of occasions that I had to clean out wasp nests, and I've gotten up to a couple dozen stings in one day. Unfortunately, I don't react to it.
Just kind of gets a little red and puffy around the area.
Yeah, but it's also something that they say that it can develop anytime. That you can be fine for years and years without it affecting you, and then one day you can get a bee sting and it'll start swelling up and you can have a really bad reaction. I wonder if it has something to do with, what the particular bees are eating or something.
Don't know. Never really looked into it.
Well, I just know because I have a very selective thing with honey as well, that I'm allergic to clover, so I can't have clover honey. But like the apple blossom honey, I don't have any problem with. So even however it is the bees process it, some chemical from the pollen is still in there.
I tried growing clovers once. They didn't intake. I think it's just too hot around here.
Yeah, fruit juice does have a lot of sugar, but if it's at least the natural sugars, your body breaks it down differently. The fructose in fruit juice actually takes a little bit more effort for your body to break it down and store it than like the refined white sugar. Yeah, that's one way of doing it. Of course, you could light your house on fire with the degreaser and the lighter.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too good just before a hurricane.
Yeah. Actually, if they're in range of the house, if they're in range of your house, the easiest way to deal with a wasp nest is just a hose, cold water. But, wait until the temperature drops. Because if the temperature is below 50 degrees, they really can't fly. They get too sluggish. So if you go out there, on a cold evening and just drench it with cold water, they won't be able to come after you if you keep them cold.
Interesting.
Yeah, they need to have their body temperature above 50 degrees for them to be able to fly.
I'm not sure if I'd run.
Normally the hive itself helps them retain some heat. But, if you soak the hive in cold water, then they lose that.
I'm not sure if I'd be able to get too many days where it'd be below 50.
Well, yeah, that's depends where you live, but yeah, here for all but maybe 2 months of the year, if you wait until after sunset, it's likely to drop below 50.
In fact, I'm looking at temperatures here that may even get into the 90s this next week.
Yep, sorry, Andrew. Yeah, I wasn't giving the conversion. So, yeah, about 10 degrees centigrade.
Well, the garden's recovering slowly. Still trying to get. I have one in a cranberry hibiscus that doesn't quite want to stay upright. Keeps wanting to keep tipping over. I'm gonna have to do something about that. I'm breaking up my cement and raised bed, and that's going to be legs for something else I'm going to be putting in. I went over that in the video. It's going to be like sort of a little table rack for your potted plants. I do want to move my all my starts out to the beds pretty soon here. They're starting to get pretty big.
But, they're about ready to go into the ground.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit worried about how the temperature is holding in the mid to high 80s here. That won't be too bad for things like the Ethiopian kale and the black magic kale, but some of the other stuff, if it might be a problem, like with the broccoli I'm trying this year.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that really annoyed me. That of all times to be sick this week, we had a solid week that the temperatures got into the 70s every day. So it would have been perfect for me to get all the stuff I need to do outside done. And I'm too sick to use it. And now it's like the forecast for next week, we only have one day that the temperature is going to get above 50. So it sucks. I was sick and wasted our last good weather of the year. Because from here on, it's just going to be dropping, and I won't be too much longer that I can even expect it to be above freezing outside.
Yeah. I could not handle cold like that.
Well, it's one of the things I say about the whole thing about Jesus walking on water. I'm not really impressed by it because around here, between November and February, anybody can walk across a lake.
I remember somebody, was a YouTuber a long time ago, who did some sort of mock thing where he's talking as Jesus, and he's mentioning the reason why it looked like he was walking in the lake was he was actually walking on stones that were in a shallow spot.
I've heard that one. I actually was wondering, though, if that legend didn't come from, some traveler from the north who was trying to tell them about lakes freezing over. Because in the Middle East, that would be a concept that they just wouldn't have.
That's a possibility. Who knows where some of this stuff came from?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I speculate and I fill in my own stories where they don't have good evidence. Early depictions of Jesus showed him with his wand? I wasn't aware of that.
Don't think I've ever seen that. Are we talking about wand, or are we talking about something else here?
No, I think it was replying to what Mark said here about Jesus being a witch. Of course, while Christians are all against witchcraft, one of the characters of the Bible they revere is King Solomon as being one of the greatest and most powerful rulers. And he got most of his power by enslaving demons to do his bidding. That's not witchcraft?
Biblical Archaeology Society Online Archive.
Yeah, he did mean a Harry Potter-like wand.
Actually, it looks more like a walking stick to me. I'm looking at some of the pictures here.
I had a walking stick, but I think I got conned because all it did was lean there in the corner. I never saw it go anywhere. Okay, my jokes are definitely not improving.
Nope.
Maybe we should just shut it down for the night here. We're past the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, we can do that.
And I don't know what happened to Diana.
She's by the desk over here.
Okay. Okay, well, good. You're there. You can sign off. We're going to do the shutdown.
Oh, okay.
Diana, you have anything you want to plug? When are you going to be streaming?
Oh, well, I guess the next planned time I'll be on will be the Sunday show. Sunday at noon, and with any degree of luck, I'll be up and running by then, and I'll be in good shape, and
Okay.
we can have our fun. Oh my!
So
I can get old on here.
same cast, different channel for the weekend?
Yeah, basically.
Well, and Kate.
Mm-hmm.
Kate hasn't come into one of my chats for quite some time now.
Oh my! Gotta do something about that.
So, Mage.
Well, I'm planning on doing that video on okra this next Monday. Gotta get around to editing that together. It's been a long time coming in putting that one together because I've been filming from almost the start of the channel.
Oh my!
So I've filmed basically everything from getting the soil ready to cooking the okra.
Yeah, you had mentioned about like adding a cooking segment in, and
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty cool idea to show just some of the stuff that you make from what you grow.
Yeah, I'll be cooking up some of the okra. I cooked up some of the okra. And shows how show how to cook it without it being slimy.
So you're cooking. You're filming the Okra Winfrey show, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. You can kill me now if you want.
Yeah, we'll leave it alive.
No. Damn it! I keep trying.
No. We're going to keep you going. If for no other reason, atheists are still such a minority in this country, we can't afford to lose any.
There you go.
Well, I'm just evil, so.
Well, yeah, but Mage, I don't hold it against you. I think it's just, something that's going to naturally happen to anyone who stays in Florida too long.
Should see the people I have to be around.
Yeah, so you have a better resistance to it than most of them. As far as people I have to be around, one of our self-appointed doormen just seems very confused by me. Well, he's used to just greeting everybody by name every time they go in and out of the building. And, now he doesn't know how to respond to me at all when he sees me in a dress, so. Hey, anything that's not openly hostile, I'll take.
Yeah, that's a good way of going about it.
Yep. Okay. Well, thanks for everybody for joining us. I'll be back to doing Wednesday at noon and Thursday at 10 p.m. next week. And hopefully my voice will be better so I can be on the shills this Saturday at 6.
Oh boy, yay.
And with that, I need to thank all the people who keep supporting me here. Diana here.
What the hell is that?
Yep. And, Ox, I appreciate you being in the side chat and helping moderate and bop the bots for us. And Robert X and Kitty, Greg Hartwick, Dog, and my biggest contributor, Skit Crasher. I just want you all to know that I appreciate you helping me keep things running here. So with that, we will bid you all a good night.
Have fun, folks.